Days after violence broke out in Cooch Behar during the fourth phase of polls in Bengal, a viral video has once again sparked a massive row between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress. Both the parties are now attacking each other over that firing incident at Seetal Kuchi, which claimed 4 lives. Take a look at our top story from Bengal.
Angry villagers armed with sticks CISF Jawans opened fire at the mob. This viral video of Cooch Behar violence during Bengal's 4th phase polling has led to a massive blame game, with both the BJP and the Trinamool narrating their own versions of what happened. Sharing this video on Twitter, Trinamool MP Derek O'Brien said, "Big shame, Modi, Shah and Election Commission exposed." The Trinamool MP further alleged that the central forces shot to kill and not to simply stop the mob. Meanwhile, the BJP has taken up the same video and claimed it was locals who incited violence first by charging at the CISF troopers with lathis.
इसी शीतल कुची सीट पर ममता दीदी ने कुछ ही दिन पहले भाषण किया था कि CISF CAPF वाले आए तो उनको घेर लो, उन पर हमला करो। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, ममता दीदी को एक शार्प सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि क्या आपका वो भाषण वो 4 लोगों के मृत्यु के लिए जिम्मेदार नहीं है क्या?
The claim war has exploded now over the April 10th Cooch Behar firing, which killed 5 people. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Wednesday visited the families of the victims and assured them justice.
যারাই দোষী হোক না কেন তাদের শাস্তি আমরা করবই এবং মনে রাখবেন এখন ইলেকশন চলছে ইলেকশনটা মিটে যাক আমি নিজে এই কেসে আমাদের রাজ্য সরকারের পক্ষ থেকেও যা যা এনকোয়ারি করার আমরা করব।
The victims' families claimed they had faith in Didi. One of the family members said that they want justice and want bullet against bullet.
আমি তো চাই অমিত শাহ কথা বলুক আমার সাথে আমি তো এটাই চাই অমিত শাহ কথা বলুক আমাদের সাথে জগদীশ বর্মন আমি ছেলের বাবা
The Seetal Kuchi incident has been the bloodiest since the acrimonious elections began in Bengal at the end of March. With 4 more phases to go, the fear is that there could be more violence ahead. With Indrajit Kundu in Cooch Behar, Bureau Report, India Today.
And in West Bengal, polls and pandemic are virtually going hand in hand. As political temperatures soar, so do COVID infections. So both the state's positivity rate and the fatality rate is higher than the national average as of now. Mamata Banerjee has shot off a letter to the Election Commission demanding that the polls for the remaining 4 phases be conducted all together in one go.
Polls, politics and pandemic. Mass gatherings and mass flouting of norms. In West Bengal, polls and pandemic are side by side. As campaign fever rises, so does the rise in cases. Massive public rallies are being held by parties in complete disregard of the pandemic raging across the city. Bengal may soon become a COVID hotbed, experts fear.
So it is bound to happen, and it has happened. So couple of days actually yes, of course these surge actually started for last 10 days to 2 weeks, but for last 7 days we see that there is a huge rush.
The state's fatality rate of 1.7% is currently higher than the national average. It is at par with worst hit Maharashtra. Even scarier, Bengal's positivity rate stands at 6.5%, which is above national average of 5.2%. With multi-phased polls and extended campaign, Bengal is already reporting cases far higher than all its neighbouring states. Figures of the last 7 days show Bengal has reported 3,040 cases every day as compared to 2,122 cases in Bihar and 1,734 in Jharkhand. During the same period, Odisha saw 981 and Assam 234.
So what we are looking forward to is total and abject government failure, because neither the central government has taken cognizance of what is happening. The beds in the various hospitals have already been filled up. New patients are not getting opportunities to get admitted, and critical patients are being denied basic what you call services.
Netas claim that they follow norms during rallies, but the ground reality is far from the truth.
पूरा इलेक्शन कमीशन का जो निर्देश हमने पालन किया, स्टेज में आप देखा सबने मास्क पहना हुआ था, मोदी जी भी मास्क पहने हुए थे और डिस्टेंस रख के बैठा। सामने भी आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग मास्क पहने हुए थे, कुछ लोग मास्क नहीं पहना, उनको मास्क हम दिया गया।
The Bengal polls still have a long way to go before the last ballot is cast. 4 more phases remain, which means more campaigning and more flouting of COVID rules.
From 3,000 cases per day to about 6,000 cases per day now in just a span of a week. COVID cases have seen a massive surge in poll-bound West Bengal, even as political parties remain relentless in their campaign. So much so that the Election Commission has now called for an all-party meeting here in Kolkata on Friday to discuss how to control this entire situation.
With Indrajit Kundu and Paulami Saha in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Should and can the remaining 4 phases be compressed into one? Will the COVID-appropriate behavior be followed in the remaining 4 phases? Tomorrow there is an all-party meeting with the Election Commission. Let's see what happens there. So 2 major issues here. This and of course that 11-minute video that has the BJP and the TMC daggers drawn. TMC insists that this is proof that 4 of its voters were killed in cold blood. The BJP has hit back, saying the video has exposed TMC's attempts to capture booth number 126 at Sital Kuchi in Cooch Behar. Joining me on India First is Shishir Bajoria, spokesperson, West Bengal BJP. Monojit Mandal, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Dr. Vikram Singh is former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, and Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is chairman of the Nephron Clinic. I quickly want to begin by asking Monojit Mandal. BJP insists the Sital Kuchi video exposes the booth capturing attempt by TMC workers. Amit Malviya, BJP's co-in charge of Bengal, says this video clearly indicates the police had to open fire in self-defense, sir.
Gaurav, you have seen the videos. People of this country have watched the videos. The 10.58 minutes video is clearly showing why and what is happening. Till the 4 minutes of the time, the people are conversing the few of the younger people, they are conversing with the equal number of CISF with very peacefully on certain issues. And the issue I am telling you that what happened in the market, one of the young boys, minor boys, was beaten up by the CRPF. That was the issue. They are coolly talking about these people. Some of the CISF are going out. And after 4 minutes, exactly for 4.1 minute, the firing started. You are showing it. And the incident that they are extrapolating, that happened after 10 minutes. Towards the last video, you find that these people are vandalizing the polling station when the polling station is entirely empty. Because by the time firing has happened, 2 persons were lying down, they were already killed, and thereafter, because of the anger, these things happened. It is clear. You have to see the raw uncut footage.
Sir, I've seen the raw uncut footage. Shishir Bajoria.
Shishir Bajoria. I'm giving you the timing. Exactly after the 4 minutes, this shooting is happening and they were deliberately shooting to kill. No gherao, no
Shishir
injury on the
Bajoria,
part of the
TMC,
BSF. Nothing
TMC
has happened
says
to them.
unarmed civilian voters of the Trinamool Congress killed in cold blood by the CISF. The video exposes, according to the TMC, security forces who were acting, once again according to TMC, on direct orders of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah.
Well, first of all, Gaurav, it's very clear on the footage, which I'm sure Manojit Babu also sees, people holding weapons, lathis. There's section 144. What were they doing? Do you talk very peacefully, as he says, with security personnel who are on cold duty with lathis? Do you come out? Is it normal for people to come out with lathis, and especially when section 144? The answer is no. Why did this happen? We have to rewind a little bit. 7th of April, the outgoing Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, very categorically and clearly told her cadres that how they should surround this central forces, how they should detain and do whatever possible.
Okay.
And that don't let them move. This provocation, this instruction of the Chief Minister ensured what happened that day. And this thing of this peaceful, everything, according to Manojit Babu, with that some precise timing he gives was very peaceful. With this peaceful, and there was a queue, as he says, Manojit Babu, how come the voter of booth number 125 was very peacefully standing in the queue of 126?
Yes, I'll reply.
Okay.
Let me reply.
Okay, I want you to respond to that, but I also want to bring in, for the benefit of our viewers, since the TMC and the BJP are at daggers drawn, I want to bring in Dr. Vikram Singh. Sir, you've also seen the video. As a police officer, when you look at these videos, and all 11 minutes of this video, are these innocent voters as the TMC claims, or is there merit in the BJP saying peaceful voters do not carry lathis, peaceful voters do not congregate in large numbers when there is section 144 in place? And is there merit in the CISF saying that there was an attempt to capture the booth and they opened fire in self-defense, sir?
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, it has been my proud privilege to serve with the CISF also and the UP police. I have seen the video very carefully, and I have no doubt in my mind that the CISF personnel were being overwhelmed and there was grave and sudden provocation. What they did was on the call of duty and in the right of private defense, and that is why they opened fire. I really don't know what would have happened if in place of the CISF, it was the UPPAC. It would have been a very, very different story, and I'll stop at that. The fact of the matter is that attempts were made to snatch the weapons of the CISF. CISF are armed with the state-of-the-art weaponry, which are semi-automatic and automatic. If they had been bloodthirsty, it's difficult to find a force that is more people-friendly than the CISF. Okay. They were armed with its automatic...
I need to respond now.
Of course you must. Manojit Mandal, you must respond. You must respond.
Only temperate force, only proportionate force, only for their defense and only to contain the situation. Okay. They did not use proportionate force. They used
force.
Okay, one by one. I want them to do too much and in a most transparent manner. In the most transparent manner. Manojit Mandal, is there merit?
Even now,
yes, sir.
You have to moderate. This.
Okay. Manojit Mandal, is there merit? Is there merit in Shishir Bajoria, and of course Dr. Vikram Singh saying, why would a simple voter carry sticks? Why would they attack a polling station? Why would they attempt to overwhelm, as Dr. Vikram Singh says, the CISF personnel? BJP, you heard Amit Malviya where he said returning officer was also assaulted.
Let me reply. Am I entitled to reply?
Yes, please respond, sir. Mr. Bajoria, please let Manojit Mandal respond, sir. Go on, sir.
Gaurav, first of all, look at the report of the SP and the Election Commission of India. Said 350 to 400 people get out. When did it happen? Do you see 350 people? That was the point number one. Point number two, if these people are carrying so much of destructive weapons, lathis and these crude lathis are not destructive weapons, they should have been apprehended. You fired to kill them. What are you talking about? These people are running from this part to this part. I mean, the BSFs are outnumbering these people. They should have been apprehended. You fire and kill them. If there is 144 and they are violating the norms, you kill them at the first instant. Hello, sir. What kind of a DG you are? I have all due respect. At the first
Sir, no personal attacks on my guests. I apologize. No, Dr. Vikram Singh, I apologize. No, sir. Sir, let's stay on the issue, sir. Let's stay on the issue, sir. Let's simply stay on the issue, sir. You know, you still haven't answered that question. You know, with due respect, Monojit Mandal, would a voter in Delhi carry a lathi if Section 144 is in place?
I'm responding to. You're firing and then quietly moving away from that place. Nobody is even hindering you going out there. You can see the video. No, he can got it out.
Please respond to the question.
Don't
peddle your lies.
Let Mr. Mandal respond, sir.
These people, now first of all, if these people have been violating laws 144, you at the first instant fire at them to kill. You apprehend them.
Monojit Mandal.
Don't disturb me.
Please
don't
do not
disturb me.
peddle your lies.
I know I have exposed you.
Okay.
I have exposed
do not
BJP's
peddle
lies.
your lies.
You apprehend them. You apprehend them. There are police forces.
Do not
there are
peddle your lies.
two vans of police forces outside.
Did the Chief Minister order this or not?
You have to moderate.
Shishir Bajoria, Monojit Mandal raises a very valid point. Shishir Bajoria. Okay, Monojit Mandal, hold on. One by one. You know, let a conversation happen. Okay, let a conversation happen. Okay, no, Monojit Mandal, let Shishir Bajoria respond. Let Shishir Bajoria respond. Why did the CISF shoot to kill? Why not attempt to apprehend is the point that Derek O'Brien also raised and Monojit Mandal also raised.
Were they carrying rifles? Are these people carrying rifles and guns?
Sir, are they allowed to carry dandas? But I will get the expert to respond. But Shishir Bajoria first, you.
Then you apprehend them. You put them in jail. You don't kill them.
Okay.
You kill them.
Shishir Bajoria, this was shoot to kill, to intimidate and to send out a signal.
What are you talking about? This is barbarity.
Okay, Monojit Mandal, let him respond now, sir. Go on, Mr. Bajoria.
Monojit Babu, are you quiet now? Can I talk?
No, you can't disturb me in between.
Well, first of all, for records, out of the 15 rounds fired, whatever we have come to know, the first 6 rounds were up in the air. Please, let's not forget that. Please, let's not forget before that.
What about your 350
peaceful people that you talk.
The report of the
please,
SP.
Sir, Monojit
you see
Babu,
350
please.
people. No, you are also disturbing me. You see 350 people. Now, yes.
Monojit
do you see,
Babu.
answer my questions. Answer my questions. First of all, do you see 350 people and why do you shoot to
kill? Monojit Mandal, let Mr. Bajoria respond. Sir, I did not let Mr. Bajoria interrupt you. I request you not to interrupt Mr. Bajoria. Gentlemen, let's have a conversation one by one. Mr. Bajoria, please respond, sir.
Sir, I was talking when my dear friend starts talking in between because he knows he has no answer. My very short point was that first 6 rounds were up in the air. Before that, what happened? Attempt was made to snatch the rifles.
Why do you see the picture?
When an attempt is made to snatch
that's
his
your
weapon,
imagination. Do you see this?
Sir, one by one. Monojit Mandal.
I can say what I like, sir. Like you,
yes,
I can say what I like. Or as per Trinamool, only you have the right to speak. Monojit Babu, come on.
Okay, let me once again bring in Dr. Vikram Singh. Dr. Vikram Singh, before I bring in Dr. Bagai on the second aspect of the story, Dr. Vikram Singh.
This is what Chief Minister ordered her cadres to do. They simply carried out the order.
Okay.
They said, she specifically said how
did he answer my question?
What numbers to get out them.
Did he answer my question? He is not a CRPF spokesperson, but he did not answer my question.
Dr. Vikram Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah holds Mamata Banerjee responsible. He says her speech on the 8th of March asking voters to surround Central Armed Police Forces personnel led to the mob being incited. CISF says there was an attempt to snatch their weapons, though not visible at least in this video. Should the CISF have shot to injure? Should they have shot to injure and not shoot to kill? Could they have shot the rioters, the violators of the law in their foot and not shoot to kill, sir? Dr. Vikram
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, I'll make 2 quick points. First, your first question, Mamata Didi is a very senior leader, not only of Bengal, but of India. And what she says is taken seriously by the electorate. I was very disappointed by the current statement that yes, to overwhelm the central paramilitary forces, it was best left unsaid. Now coming to the second point, ideal riot drill happens when you have the adequate numbers. In such a situation where the contingent is being overwhelmed, where you are an absolute minority, you will be overwhelmed. Then it is only the firing is done to safeguard oneself and their weaponry. Had that
I need to reply.
Numerical superiority been there of 3:1, they would have resorted to. But when they are overwhelmed, this was not done to as a riot control, but to safeguard their weapons and themselves. And what they did, it was very carefully audited. Every bullet was audited. Of 15 rounds, 6 were fired in the air. CISF has the reputation of not being trigger happy. CISF is known to be a very people-friendly force. What they did was in the right and exercise of private defense, just to add that there were casualties. But CISF is
I need to reply. I need to rebut.
Okay, of course you must, because Monojit Mandal, Amit Shah has been very clear. And he says, I asked Mamata Banerjee, as he puts it, a sharp question. Was her speech on the 8th of March responsible for the casualties on the 10th of March at booth number 126 at Sital Kuchi, sir?
Gaurav, you can hand count these young men. There are barely 10 to 15 people. Where are the 350, 400 people, and where is the Gherao? And show me the injury marks, slightest of injury marks on the CISF. So that it would be proven that they were trying to snatch the rifles or the automatic
snatch
gun.
the rifle, there's no injury.
Now you are being nasty, sir.
One by one, sir.
Now look how you are being nasty. I've caught you out, I know. I've caught your Home Minister out. And that's why you are disturbing me. I know you can't throttle my voice. You can throttle my voice, but you cannot throttle the truth. The people of
Sir,
Bengal
nobody's
want
voice
you.
gets throttled on India today.
So let him-
Everyone has
please
an
stop
opportunity
him.
to express
Please
their
stop him.
views,
Please stop
free,
him.
frank and fearless. But let's
Look
stay
at
on the point, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm saying the official report of the SP and the Election Commission. 350 to 400 people get out them while trying to snatch the guns of the CISF. They had to fire in self-defense. Look at the videos. Only 15 to 20 young men.
Okay.
They're even talking even with the lathis. They're conversing with the CISF on an issue, and I have explained the issue. Something happened 1 hour back when one young man, a minor boy, was beaten up by the CISF. That's why they are carrying the lathis.
Mr. Bajoria.
Listen to the stories of the villagers, Gaurav. Don't have to believe me. Videos
Mr. Bajoria,
and the
respond.
stories of the villagers.
Okay, Mr.
Don't have
Bajoria,
to believe
respond.
in me.
Last 30
Don't have
seconds
to
on
trust
this
me.
part of the
I'm
show.
a politician.
This part of the
Listen to
show,
people
before I
and
move
see
on
the
to the
videos.
other point that Mamata Banerjee has raised. Respond, Mr. Bajoria.
Very quickly to respond, as Manojit Babu says, I'm only using his words. They were talking. They were very peacefully talking with what? With lathis and weapons in the hand. Number one. Number two, a point which we have not yet touched on. One of the 4 who got shot, he was a voter of booth number 125. What was he doing so peacefully?
Even if he's doing something illegal, you kill him. You kill him.
What was he
Even
doing?
if he's doing something illegal, you kill him.
Stop it. No,
You kill
nobody
him.
kills. It's your chief minister.
What kind of a
It's my
barbarity
chief
is
minister
this?
also.
Are we living in a
Mamata
banana
Banerjee who
republic?
kills the people.
Is
It's
it a
Mamata
banana
Banerjee.
republic?
It is Mamata Banerjee.
What kind of a
who has
barbarity
made
is
West
this?
Bengal a banana republic.
Okay.
And 2nd of May,
You have made
she
it a banana
goes.
republic.
We will say sayonara.
You don't know
to
the meaning
party.
of human rights?
Okay.
And look at the human
Dr.
rights
Bagai,
commission.
I want to bring in Dr.
Look at the
Sanjeev
Human
Bagai
Rights
because
Commission, National
the
Human
second
Rights Commission, they are
aspect,
completely
once again,
silent.
extremely important. And Dr. Bagai, you heard Mamata Banerjee, you read what Mamata Banerjee just tweeted out to the Election Commission of India. Cases are spiraling. The TMC has made a demand to the Election Commission that from the 4th to the 8th, I mean the remaining 4 phases should be converted into one single phase. In your appreciation, sir, will that help keeping COVID cases down in Bengal, which according to our report are spiraling now? Dr. Bagai.
Good evening, Gaurav. Good evening, everyone. Right at the offset, I would like to mention is that when we reject science and we embrace the company which has religious overtones, political overtones, violence, this is bad company. And whatever I've been hearing, just as a common citizen, it doesn't give a correct message to simple citizens as to what is happening there. Now, whether you convert it into 1 phase, 2 phase, 8 phase, you just look at the political rallies. Gaurav, I want to give you some medical facts so that my friends in West Bengal can actually hear it. This is published data. These super spreader events with no social distancing, no mask, in this catastrophic pandemic, and we learned from the first wave that the second wave is going to be much more severe, is just a volcano waiting to erupt. Even 30 people gathered, this is again published, can have an attack rate of more than 87%. There are studies to show that 45% case fatality can happen in a group of 100. Why are we doing this? We spent 15 months of the entire nation's effort being pushed down the drain. This is going to cascade and escalate into a domino effect, vast and wide, much more than the West Bengal state and the state machinery and the healthcare system, not only of West Bengal, but India can handle. Please understand, the fire may be lit in one state, but it will burn the entire nation.
That's a very important point you're making, sir. That's a very important point you're making. So, Mr. Bajoria, why not consider this? 200,000 cases in a day in our country. Each time people congregate, the virus gets a new lease of life and lives of people are at stake. Not just in Bengal, as the good doctor has said, but across the country. Mr. Bajoria.
Well, Gaurav, what Dr. Sanjeev said. Now, let me answer in the context of this election. First of all, the 5th to 8th phases, which are still to go to polls, these elections have been notified. I do not know what the legal ramifications is. This call has to be taken by the Election Commission of India. Going back to the letter written by Trinamool Congress, I do not have a copy of that letter. But what I've heard from friends in the media like you is that they have written that we never wanted 8 phases. That is why we are wanting it to go back for you to reduce the phases. For Trinamool Congress, it is only the electoral victory which they think there's only chance they have if the phases are reduced. They have not mentioned the word COVID. But as far as the mask,
Mamata Banerjee has, sir.
Concerned, see what Dr. Sanjeev says. After all, he's a medical person. I cannot go against what he said. What we have done, we have taken immediate steps that every rally of ours or any road show of ours, whatever is held under the present rules, everybody will be, we will insist that they come with masks, and we'll have enough masks at each rally.
That clearly is not happening. We'll show you images from ground zero, sir. On India Today, we'll show you facts. We show all sides of the story, and you will see people are not masking up, people are not following social distancing norms. So it's not happening, sir.
I agree with you. Gaurav, this decision was taken today that everybody will be masked. We have ordered huge amounts of sanitizers, and we will ensure that everybody is masked.
Sure, because it's not about BJP. It's about every political party, virtually every political rally. Whether it's the TMC, the BJP, the left, the Congress, the others. Mr. Mandal, security forces need time to move from one place to the other. This last-minute change may lead to chaos and, God forbid, perhaps more violence in the next phases, sir.
Gaurav, when they were declaring election in the month of February, second surge was already there in Mumbai. They should have had the farsightedness in completing the election as early as possible by reducing it to 4 to 5 phases of election. And the Election Commission of India did not have that farsightedness. Now we are suggesting let us finish off. Look, and he is even behaving as the spokesperson of the Election Commission of India. It is such a pity that he is exposing himself. He's now been defending the Election Commission of India. Look at him. Please come on. You are representing a political party, not the CISF or Election Commission of India.
I know who
you are representing a political party.
Dr. Vikram Singh, possible to shift elections midway, from 4 phases to 1 phase. In your appreciation, will it throw the system out of gear, especially in these very volatile times?
It is easier said than done. Unprecedented deployment of force has been done. 793 paramilitary force companies in this election, which is an all-time record. And to scale it down also will have concomitant problems also. If we see, of course, there is nowhere anyone who can disagree with Dr. Bagai has said. This is a very scary situation. It has to be addressed. But also we need to address that if 793 companies that have been deployed, how do we handle their redeployment, re-escalation? As you very rightly mentioned, movement of force is a tricky job. It requires the chipping in of all resources of like trucks, trains, even the air support units. And under these circumstances of acrimony and polarization, The deployment, I see no way why the deployment of force can be diluted. And therefore, I would say to scale it down would be, I would not say that it should reduce it to 1 level or to 4 levels, but to scale it down is a big no.
Scaling it down is a big no. Okay, Mr. Bajoria, last 30 seconds, you wanted to respond to this.
Very quick. I think there's a solution. All over India, polls happen. They happen in such calm and quiet atmosphere. Why is that Bengal has this unfortunate? If TMC simply decides to play by the rules and not by the danda which they do, we won't have all this problem. Why do we have all this?
I need to rebut.
We have because this political party which does not believe in democracy, they do not think that people have the right to vote them out.
Okay.
So they will beat anybody and
Monojit
everybody.
Mandal, before I bring in Dr. Bagai for the final word on this part, please respond, Mr. Mandal.
I tell you, the violence is single-handedly created by BJP under the instruction of Amit Shah. Never has happened in the history of Bengal election that CISF or CRPF are killing people. Never ever in the last 50 years, you cannot show me that this is happening in the history of Bengal election. Yes, there are other issues, but forces killing people on the day of polling is for the first time, and this has been done at the behest of the BJP and the Home Minister.
People coming out with lathis and weapons. He has no problems with people attacking weapons.
Dr. Bagai, of course, the Election Commission will meet all parties tomorrow for COVID appropriate behavior. But in your appreciation, even if everyone remains masked up, but if there are mass gatherings, it will lead to cases spiraling out of control, and perhaps we'll only know that maybe 7 to 14 days later, Dr. Bagai?
Absolutely. Just 3 quick points, Gaurav, in this. One is mask itself is not sufficient. Social distancing is important. There is enough, again, published data to show that the virus and the virions, when a person speaks or shouts or screams like most of the people in West Bengal were doing, will travel up to 20 feet in 3 seconds. I'll repeat it, 20 feet in 3 seconds. How on earth are we going to keep social distancing of 20 feet? Point number 2 is, this runs a cycle anywhere between 7 to 14 days on the lower limit and up to 17 to 32 days on the other. Very often this has been said in the media that, oh, the poll-going states haven't seen the escalation. Just wait for a while. Yes. This is cooking right now. This is going to have an explosive transmission and is going to cascade into something which you all will not be able to handle in that state in the coming month. This takes a time. It's building up inside. This is transmitting. And once these people who are there in the election rally go back into the homes, they will infect the elders, the vulnerables, and it will just continue to, like a binary fission.
God forbid, but you're absolutely right. It's extremely alarming, this situation. Dr. Bagai, stay with me. To all my other guests, many thanks for joining me here on India First. A quick break.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.